They suck. They suck. Everybody knows they suck. My name is Arun Kumar and I am the driver, and you're watching Driven Diary episode 103. And I'm sitting here between a couple of absolutely legendary vehicles to share with you another week of what it's like to build a $1 billion automotive service business called Driven Auto Care. Driven Diary basically exists to document what entrepreneurship looks like behind the scenes in the day-to-day, from the very beginning of when I started this business through reaching a $1 billion valuation, at which point I believe we will have made a dent in the perception of the automotive service industry. So if all that sounds good to you, I would welcome you to subscribe so you don't miss these weekly videos and any other videos that we're going to start putting out about this car very soon. So in this week's video, I'm pissed. I'm sorry, that's all I got. I'm just upset for like 4 of the 5 days worth of videos that you're gonna see in this week's video, including the clip you've already seen. And that's just what it is this week. You know, business wasn't doing that well, but we did make a ton of progress on the aesthetic of the Driven compound, which is on half of the Fremont shop. We are doing a high-end event hosting gym car storage facility that exists as part of the We Are Driven brand that is being relaunched after its founding back in 2020, which I'm very excited to bring back. So, with all that said, I hope you enjoy all the clips in this week's video, and let's get to it. Monday evening, and I would like to introduce to you the Jeep Compass motherfucking Trailhawk. This is a rental car that I'm borrowing on this trip, and I'm borrowing it from my colleague who I am here with. And where is here? Here is the Fairfield Inn and Suites in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. So I'm in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, and the last time I was here was January 2024. It was like 15 degrees. And honestly, it's nice and cool. It's like in the 50s. But I'm about to go for a walk, and I'm gonna walk to the end of the parking lot here of the Fairfield, and I will therefore be in the middle of freaking nowhere immediately. Well, okay, there's a dealership of some sort over there. We're gonna walk that way. We're gonna wander through the dealership over there. Maybe we'll talk more when I get there. So, over in the Bay Area, we have CDJR. Here, J's are so popular that we just have CDR. And the J is like down there somewhere. There's like a Jeep dealership over there. But so here's the CDR dealership, I guess. That's what's down the street from the hotel. Let me tell you about what we're doing here. So, oh, these are nice. Got a blue C8 and I'm distracted, sorry folks. It's a nice little pair right at the entrance here. Yeah, so I took a red eye, as I mentioned at the end of last week's video over here. I left my house at 11 p.m., got to the airport, boarded the plane, slept for like 2 hours on the first flight, connected in Houston to Milwaukee, slept for 2 hours on the second flight, and I've been up all day in client meetings, driving around Wisconsin, client meetings. These days are fun. Like, they're very memorable, and they're like character building in a weird way. Like, I enjoy it more than I really should, probably. Like, I'm beating up my body, didn't eat very well, obviously no sleep, but I get some enjoyment out of it, and it's like, you know, I'm doing shit that nobody else is willing to do. I'm putting in the weird hours to be able to be in Wisconsin on Monday morning after being in a training with my managers until 8:30 p.m. Sunday night, shooting content, going home, working out, showering, going to the airport. Ain't nobody doing this. This is what it takes. Here I am. I just finished my clients' meetings for the day, doing my second workout, walking through this dealership where there's some kind of cool modified Rams. Don't get distracted, Arun. Yeah, man, I feel like empowered when I do these kind of things, and so, you know, I'm willing to step up even further. Now, that being said, I reviewed the data from today for Driven Auto Care. It's bad. We had 14 jobs close out today, and the target is that would net us, or not net us, but the gross sales from 14 cars should be around $17,000, $18,000, $19,000. But we had total closed sales of, and I'm gonna have to struggle to do the math here. We had average repair order of $120, 14 cars. So like under $2,000 in closed fucking sales. That's horrific. And we spent the whole manager training talking about increasing sales per car. So very frustrating. I haven't gotten any feedback from the guys yet. It's been a sensitive topic, just, you know, communicating with people after hours, making sure people have work-life balance, work-life satisfaction. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, but some things are going right. It was Hamilton's first full-time day. I'm sure he'll have some footage in here. I wasn't very happy about seeing those numbers, so hopefully we can improve things. I'm kind of car shopping right now also, but, you know, maybe that's make me feel better for the shitty performance. Obviously, numbers like that, I'm not going to be able to afford to stay in business very long. That's like a net loss on the day of like $10,000 plus, so that's great. Anyways, now I'm not in the best mood talking about that, so it's about time I wrap this shit up. Keep walking, keep working. Don't forget, that's all for now. All right, well, it is Tuesday morning. Yesterday we had 14 cars go through the 3 shops combined with an average repair order of $120. I think I talked about that last night. I'm pissed about it, and seeing kind of the behavior of the people who work for me compared to the reality of the performance situation bothers me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much more to say about that. Making weird decisions. That's it. Wednesday noon. Landed back in San Francisco, back in the Passat, driving home from the airport. Man, am I fucking pissed off today. Just everything pissing me off. And I think I know why. There's 2 reasons, or really 3 reasons. Reason 1 is I'm hungry. Barely eaten anything today after 2 days of a little bit of belligerent eating for client meetings. Reason 2, I've been cooped up in an office and on a plane for most of the last 2.5 days, and I'm sick of that. I look forward to being active again. Obviously I've worked out, but have not worked out today, and I have a lot of energy with nowhere to put it except through my mind, and my mind is not off in a positive place to be. So there's that. And then the third thing is what I've already been talking about this week. We had really low sales on Monday. We had better sales on Tuesday with 30 grand, which made up for Monday's lack of sales. But stuff's just, there's holes fucking everywhere, man. And we got Google had a different setup on its reviews. You can't see me. Google had a different setup on its review notifications. It went from an email every time you get a review to an email like once a month. And I didn't know that. And so I went and checked all our reviews, and we had like 10, 11, 12 new reviews, something like that. And we had 10 5 stars, 1 4-star that, you know, is what it is. Some people just don't feel compelled to put 5 stars. And then we had a 3-star, and the 3-star was from a guy that felt bait and switched because we told him a price for a brake job. It's a performance vehicle, $3,400 for all 4 corners, brake and pads and rotors. And then when he came in, we discovered he actually had an even higher trim level of brakes. That was actually going to be $6,700 for brakes. And that's a problem, obviously. We bait and switched him by $3,300 basically on his brakes. And the problem with this is that we've had the car in the shop before. Like, we knew that it had these high-end brakes on it, or we could have come to know very quickly. And also the customer warned us that he had the most expensive brakes. And we told him $3,400, don't worry about it. Brings it in, actually $7,000. So that sucks. That really sucks. And we got a 3-star review, fortunately, because he did like our previous services. So I was thankful that, you know, he was considerate of his previous services, but I fully understand where he's coming from, because he said, you know, I have a lack of confidence in their technical capability. And he's right. And, you know, I unfortunately see errors being made like daily in this realm. And I brought in Rick, our coach. He looked at a few repair orders and said, what the fuck is all this? Like, what is all this? There's no recommendations where there should be. We're not talking about maintenance. We're not building rapport with the customer. We're doing bare minimum work, and then we're doing it for free when we probably should be getting paid for it. So it's just a lot to manage, and it's a constant question that I'm working with here. So yeah, I'm just pissed off at a lot of things. Such is the nature of business. I have all these problems and all these employees, and yet all the problems are mine. And that's just what it is. That's the reality of it. However, on the contrast to all this, We Are Driven is doing very well from a planning perspective. And planning in and of itself is analysis paralysis. It's a waste of time. It's something you shouldn't do. But when the planning is basically make a to-do list and then do the to-do list, I think I'm okay there. Considering how rapidly I was considering getting into action here, the fact that I'm pausing and taking some time to make sure we have our ducks in a row before we execute, I'm okay erring on that side of caution. I just have to be careful not to go too far in that direction and then never do it. So that's what we got going on, folks. Folks. That's what's going on. It's keeping us busy. I don't like being cooped up in an office or on a plane. Felt very cooped up. Very, very, very bored also the last few days. So it's good to be back. I hate just sitting and listening to other people talk for that long. Literally like 2 full days of talking about automotive parts manufacturing, and I'm able to pull out these little pieces, but yeah, man, I mean, there's a reason this is not a permanent position for me. And they know it, so I don't feel bad to talk about it here. Anyway, 6 minutes talking. That's all for now. Okay, Wednesday afternoon. Arun is in a meeting right now. Our plan today is to finish up the gym setup because we got it moved. So the plan is we're gonna have, I got stuff in my hands, but dumbbell racks over there. We're gonna put a mirror up in front. In fact, it's the mirror that's sitting right here. So that's what we're doing today. I'm gonna go change clothing that I can mess up, and we're gonna get all this all moved. So else on the docket, we're gonna be changing the ropes. There's Nate.
Shout out Nate.
Okay, so this clip you're about to see is from Wednesday night, and I have been working out sometimes very late or very early in the Fremont Shop new gym space, and it's a nice place. I can really blast music at any time of the day that I want. I got all the space in the world. I can drop weights. It's a fantastic gym space. However, this shop at one point in its life was broken into. If you go back to videos about a year and a half ago, you'll see some clips of the Fremont Shop being broken into back in 2024. And so I do have a bit of wariness about activities that go on around this shop at night. A lot of homeless people, a lot of drug addicts in this area, unfortunately. And at times, behavior occurring around the shop is a little weird. So Wednesday night, I showed up and there was an obvious drug deal happening right out front of the shop. There were a couple cars parked right next to each other, and I showed up in my blacked out Explorer and they bolted. So that was sketchy. Then I moved into the shop, started working out, and I heard some weird activity happening behind the shop. And behind the shop, there is a dirt path with very soft dirt that butts up against a warehouse that's on the other side of the fence that fences in our backyard. And I decided to open the back door and take a look and see what was going on back there. And what I found is what you're about to see next. And it did involve an encounter with a meth head. So get excited for that. Well, this is the area behind the Fremont Shop, as you may be familiar. And someone seems to have lost a U-Haul back here. Update with the full beams from behind here, this access. Yeah, motherfucking U-Haul back there. There's no reason for that to be there. So that's super sketchy. Good night, folks. I'm going to bed. You might be able to hear me right now, but basically what's happened is we have some graphics on the wall now. We have some detailing going on back there. We'll get some B-roll shots right over this part of that sick-ass car back there that happened to show up today. I'm getting 3 cars detailed. You're going to see a lot of content on that. The scaffolding that's behind me here is coming down, and that's very exciting. We're going to have all the space in the world in the shop again, and it's coming together, folks. It's coming together. The gym is fully put together. This ability to drive cars through for detailing is great. We have space in the backyard to do it. It's going well. Today's a great day, and it's Thursday morning. All right, Thursday evening, and Driven Auto Care did not have a good week, but the Driven Compound did, so that's good. We got to shoot this, we got to shoot that, we got to shoot that other thing in the corner. We did a whole lot of social media planning. We did a whole lot of Driven network monetization planning, compound planning, and we're basically done here. We got this put up. We got tons of good photos and videos today. Detailed all 3 of these cars. Busy day, solid day. You've already seen most of it probably. And needs to translate into revenue. That's really everything we're doing now is for that purpose. And I believe what we're offering here is something that people will be paying for. So I look forward to unveiling that soon. That's all for now. All right, my office is being destroyed and tarnished. That's what's going on here. We're making that wall the studio, so curtains, blackout curtains on this wall, this wall, this wall. Enough space there for multiple people to be filmed as part of a podcast or training video or whatever. And also will be like the meeting space for this office because my desk is no longer two-sided as it has always been. So this is just for me to work at, and I have a nice view of some monitors to distract me from the outside world, as opposed to the previous where I had the outside world to distract me from the monitors. So we've got quite a blank slate looking in here, and that's because it's all out here. So we got, all kind of junk going around out here. And then lastly, Evelyn made a comment to me last night that she said, "Oh, the floor at that event we went to this weekend was really nice. You should do something like that with this floor." And I was like, yes, I got a quote. It's $20,000 to do something like that with this 2,000 square foot space. I'm not really prepared to spend 20 grand on a floor, as I think I've already told you guys. So I don't know what to do about that right now. We cleaned out this area out here a little better. We've got metal for recycling here. Got a Passat parts car. Got customers SSR, shipping container. Yeah, so things are happening. It's not as nice as it once was out here for sure, but it's in the spirit of always raising standards. That's all for now. We're live, Driven Diary. It's Friday afternoon. We're in the middle of a lift. I'm trying to steal the aux from Hamilton, but also we did a lot of work on the office today that you saw earlier. Trying to get a quick gym sesh in this afternoon, and then I'm heading home for family time. And it's been a good day. We got a lot accomplished, a lot more to be accomplished. The curtains are up. We should show you that before we head out. And yeah, it's going well today. Happy Friday. First day with all 3 shops closed. That's a big deal. 410s is in effect. I've had to turn a lot of people away today because we're closed. That's all for now. Saturday morning. I got a boy there. I got a boy back there. I'm a boy, and we're at the car wash, and I'm gonna rant about something. These dryers, they suck. They suck. Everybody knows they suck. So you don't have to fucking sit here for 2 fucking minutes while your car doesn't get dry. Look at all that water on the roof. Wow, what do you know? It's like barely flecking off. This whole car is still very wet. Stop wasting everyone's time and go. Go. There, the blower stopped. All right, gotta enter my code here. Once this light turns green, can't do it yet. Oh, I guess I can. It says enter my code 665990. Ultimate wash. Let's go. Can I make this turn is the question. Am I gonna crash? Oh, no crashing. Roll up the window. Oh. All right. We are in. This is such good YouTube content. I am washing the family SUV. Oh yeah, folks, watch me blaze through those dryers after this wash. And that's it for Driven Diary episode 103. I appreciate you watching all the way to the end, especially through just a wall of rage in this week's video, I must admit. And so, that's what it's like sometimes, and that's what we had to deal with both in my head and in my life experience in the past week. And hopefully Hamilton brought in some levity through both his editing and his cameos in the video. Now, with all that said, since you did watch to the end, I got a couple favors to ask of you. If you could, please like the video so we show up higher in the YouTube algorithm. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss next week's Driven Diary. And also, if you have any questions or feedback about the episode, please leave a comment below. With all that said, I hope you can go out and continue to build your own automotive dreams and stay driven.